Hello there, my lovelies, and welcome to 1D10 the show. My name is Brady Flanagan, and I am the Game Master. So, we have a lot of great things planned out for this year, and we know that going back through a back catalog of episodes, podcasts, can be a little bit frustrating and hard, and isn't really a good jumping on point. And so that is the point of this video, of this episode, is to catch you up, to introduce you to the characters, the story, and give you a little bit of fun. 1D10 the show is a storytelling platform using Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. This means that, yes, we are part of a fantasy world. Yes, there are orcs, there are dwarves, there are elves, there are gnomes, there's all of that jazz. But that's just the basis for the story. We go in some crazy places. We try to keep things a little bit creative and different. And most importantly, we try to tell a story that will entertain. Yes, while we do use Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition as the basis for our story, it is not quite the emphasis of it. That means, to all of you out there who may listen to an episode and try to rules Nazi me, all that I have to say is, suck it! Trilby is our half-orc bard, played by Chris Coonrad. He's a down-on-his-luck hipster musician who is frequently misunderstood by the group. However well-intentioned, he tends to disappear for long stretches of time, and sleeps through even the most loud of battles. That said, the man can play a mean juice heart. Carl is a dwarf rogue, played by Barry Riggs, raised in the ways of roguery and the spyish arts by his family. Carl is a jokester, first and foremost. He loves to make wild bets, sneak off from the group for fun, and steal anything that isn't tied down. And then takes the rope and whatever was tied down as well. He has a pet disembodied hand named Handy, and is good friends with spy buddies Agone and Costella. Akula is our big, burly warrior with the heart of a philosopher, played by John Crowder. Sure, that philosopher may love violence and may just be a lunatic, but he's fun. With his fantasy Russian accent, Chekhov's hand axes, sword named Katya, and squeaky yellow rain boots, he tends to stand out in a crowd. Just don't get a better acrobatics check than him, or you'll never be forgiven. Magna is nuts. She's also an ancient-looking elven warlock specializing in illusions and trickery, played by Jonathan Whiting, but the nuts part is kind of her main appeal. She's all for drinking, debauchery, and chaos. At one point, she lost her moral compass as part of a curse, but never really noticed. You never know what she'll say or do, but every good party needs a wild card, right?
Guys, why aren't the brakes working?
Because I cut the brakes! Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
What?
Kate is pretty much the opposite of Magna. A half-elf cleric played by Jeff Parks, determined to do the right and logical thing at all times. She makes the sensible choices and pushes the party in the right direction. Except there's only one problem. Turns out that she was just Magna all along. Gasp! Hashtag Fight Club. Hashtag Mr. Robot. Hashtag I should stop spoiling things. Once Kate returned to Magna's head, likely to never be let out again, Jeff Parks lent his voice to a new character, Jed. Jed is a druid who focuses mostly on farm animals for his character in Orcsbane Arena. More about that later. Jed takes a lot of Kate's sensibility, but matches it with a me-first attitude. Not to say that he won't be there to help others when he's needed, but he isn't necessarily going to put himself into harm's way. As with every story, our characters came together in what seems like random happenstance. Everyone was attending a festival to celebrate the joining of the twin kingdoms, Turiel and Toriel, each known for their prowess in wagon making. You know, and then they combined to create the kingdom of Toriel. Get it? Anyway, at the festival, each of our heroes had their own clear agenda. Throughout the festival, a burly dwarf named Bob approached each of our heroes and presented them with a medal, without quite explaining what the meaning was behind it. As it turned out, the three gnomes in charge of the kingdom wanted to Willy Wonka style give our heroes a tour of the new kingdom. But then one of the gnome siblings betrayed the other two, summoning earth elementals to attack the festival, killing his brother and stealing the medals and other very special items from our heroes before getting away. The other of the siblings, Marion, sent the party and the burly dwarf Bob to retrieve their items from her brother at the kingdom of Tutorial, letting them use her fancy schmancy self-moving wagon that uses ominous soul engine in order to run without needing fuel. The special items that had been stolen from our party had been placed into something called a soul trap, a device that could be used to slowly take away parts of our adventurers' souls. So they definitely wanted to put an end to all of that. Upon reaching the mountain that housed the kingdom, the adventurers found that the kingdoms were empty outside of elementals and robots who ran the factories. They had to battle through robots until they found the gnomish brother, Avi, who had stolen their things. But, gasp! Avi was trying to protect them, as the tour had been a ruse to get them to the Soul Spire at the center of the mountain, to drain their souls to power more soul engines. Then the brother that they thought was dead, Theo, came in and attacked, as it turned out that it was his dastardly plan all along. The party destroyed the Soul Spire and, with the power of Avi's earth magic, formed into the powerful Nancy, a not-so-subtle Voltron ripoff that destroyed Theo's spirit and saved the kingdom. At the celebration party, Magna's grandmother appeared to her in a vision and emphasized the need to work together and visit places of power around the world, one of which happened to be deep beneath an arena of valor. As it so happened, the group got invited to an arena of valor called Orcsbane Arena, which ended up being a little bit different than they anticipated. And so, our heroes set off for Orcsbane Arena to find their fortune and the thrill of the fight. The arena itself felt odd, utilizing strange technology, and strangely, no one seemed to be able to be hurt within the arena. They found that the arena was being run by a group of robed orcs called the Order of the Bloodstone, a tribe that was cursed with an insatiable bloodlust, even though they themselves were pacifists. They found this land where no one could be hurt on the edge of a swamp and set up shop to entertain the locals, while also being able to live out their curse and remain at peace. Our heroes joined arena regulars Rusty Jed, the Necrodancer, Noristor the Destroyer, Demonica, the Roach, Kaka, and Lucky Llewellyn for fights and fun. But there was mystery afoot. Something was happening in the basement, and Carl is determined to find out exactly what is down there and how it relates to the arena's strange protective magic. He and Kaka took turns trying to enter the basement, only to make it down so far before an enchantment would make them lose consciousness, and they would reappear magically back in Kaka's nest to try again. In the meantime, the rest of the group met with the strange production team for the arena performances. Hans, the persona consultant, and writer Beth, as they tried to get them into character for battling in the arena. During the practice, the crowd favorite Lucky Llewellyn decided to help out and get a message to Jet about a secret rendezvous that he had with someone from the town where the stage patrons of the arena came from. You see, Lucky Llewellyn was also determined to find out exactly what was going on with the arena. Before he could give more information, he was inadvertently killed by Akula, something that should not be able to happen given the arena's magic. Still, the show must go on. After a brief investigation by Chief of Security Mr. Wren and the hopeful and helpful detective in training, Maddie McGill, Akula was found to be not guilty. Carl agreed to become a replacement for Lucky Llewellyn in the arena, but there were still some mysteries that had not been solved. Trilby had disappeared with the roach. The persona consultant, Hans, was also nowhere to be found. Jed refused to risk his life in the arena now that something was wrong, but he's still determined to get to the bottom of things. Akula just wants a good fight and maybe a drink. Carl wants to expose what he believes is corruption from the Order. Magna is still just nuts. And the fight is tonight. So, there you have it. You are all caught up. Of course, there's a ton of details that I didn't go into here. Like, what was behind Bob the Dwarf's eye patch? What's up with the mysterious traveling merchant, Merlechant, who rewards kindness by bringing you into his bizarre bazaar? And what is up with these many crazy weapons and items that our heroes have found along the way? But maybe you'll just have to LAFO. Listen and find out. Good luck, adventurers.